Hi, my name is Wayne Krantz. First time I saw Mick Goodrick play was I was just graduating from high school in 1974, and there was a special on PBS about something, but there was a clip of Mick playing with Gary Burton Quartet in Boston, which is where I was going to be headed the following fall. And I was very, very shocked to see this guy. I think he was playing a Telecaster, playing some kind of guitar playing that I'd never dreamed of, never heard, never imagined. I was intimidated, rightfully so. Ran out and bought a record called The New Quartet, which had a very attractive silver, shiny silver cover, the LP. Seems like it was an ECM record or Extra Watt or something, can't remember. But it was a very strange and confusing record for me. I didn't understand what the vibes meant. The guitar was playing something that I couldn't register as related to anything I'd ever heard before. So again, intrigued, frightened. When I got to Boston, we used to go see Gary's quintet playing at the old Jazz Workshop. And that was mind-blowing for us. It was a seminal musical experience. Two guitars, some kid up there, wasn't much older than we were, playing some kind of guitar. But the sort of featured soloist, it seemed to us, was the guy on the other side of the stage, who I quickly put together was the same guy I'd seen on TV. And Mick's playing always floored us completely. The conviction of it, the body of it, the tradition and modernity of it, its melodic nature, the sensitivity of it. All of that was completely new to us and very, very inspiring. Later I remember when Mick left that band, I went to see the quartet, which was of course still great. But Mick lended a magic to that situation that was never repeated by anyone. I got it together, the money and the initiative to get a lesson from him at some point in Boston. I remember he was living in a little garden apartment somewhere. I remember lots of green, and you go in through this little forest, and there are all these glass windows. And I remember he asked me to play something for him, and the only standard I knew then, and do I even know it now? No, I don't know it anymore. But I knew it then, All the Things You Are. I tried to get through a chorus, but I was too embarrassed and insecure to continue. So I stopped, just shaking my head, and he said, you know, I was really enjoying that, and you stopped, you know. So already I was kind of on an unsure footing with the guy. When I left, I told him I was going to call him to schedule a lesson the following week. As it turned out, I didn't have the money to call him again for another year. And when I did call him, I said, "Hi, Mr. Goodrick, it's Wayne Krantz. I don't know if you remember me. I took a lesson a while ago, wondering if I could schedule another one." And he paused and he said, "Didn't you say you were going to call me the following week during that first lesson?" I said, "Yeah, I did, but you know, I didn't have the money, so I didn't want to waste your time." And he paused again. He said, "Tell you what, call me back in another year." So I did, ultimately, and I got some lessons from him, which I'm grateful for. His book, Advancing Guitarist, was a big deal. It was the first guitar book I'd ever seen that was closer to the way that I was thinking and feeling about playing. And the creativity of it, the sort of non-dogmatic approach that he suggested immediately took hold. And sometime years later, I wrote a book myself, and he ordered a bunch of copies of it for his students, and I was so flattered by that, you know. And I was thinking, if I've written the second best guitar book ever, I'm satisfied. Mick would always come to my clinics that I would get occasionally at Berkeley years after, which always surprised me and kind of confused me, because I was certain there was nothing that I knew that he didn't. But it meant a lot that he would come. The first question he would always ask me when I saw him over the years was, "You working?" And I never, I mean, I'm always working. I'm not always getting paid, but I'm always doing something. And so I always say, "Yeah," but it always kind of seemed like an old school question to me, like, "You working?" Like what I don't know, the saxophone section of the Count Basie band would say to each other when they ran into each other at the coffee shop. He also always told me a joke when we would run into each other. I remember the last time he and Dave and I had lunch somewhere, and he told a long joke that I won't tell because I can't, it's too involved and I'm not talented enough at that to do so. But the punchline was, "Yeah, Wayne Krantz." He taught me a lot, Mick. I mean, he taught a lot of people a lot. He always, just in the way I thought about East Coast guitar, modern guitar, he was always kind of the centerpiece of that. It seemed like everybody else just kind of spiraled out from that center, and generations of people. And the improvisational quality of his playing was inspiring. It seemed that he was improvising melodies when he played, and not everybody does that. Tons and tons of fantastic players don't do that. He does, and it inspired me in part to do it too. I value that. It's one of the centers of my playing. That comes from him. And the last thing I want to say is just, he was always accepting of me. I never, I know I was never his star student, but he would kind of talk about me in the same breath as he would talk about his star students, and that was kind of a vote of confidence that I found tremendously strengthening. So thanks for that, Mick, and for everything. And yeah, the only Sir Mick I know is Sir Mick Goodrick.